Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the boat gang. We got the Swifter XL 31-inch hydro on the block. We're working on this build. I just got done wet sanding it, prepping it up for paint. Today we're going to start working on the front canard and possibly get the wing cut out. Going to go over some of my ideas here. Stick around. Big B, we're ironclads. This is gonna be Spirit of the Navy. That's the hydro livery I chose. The Spirit of the Navy, it actually has a front spar right here, with an adjustable flap behind it. Okay, the spar, it really don't do a whole lot for aero. The flap does. The way this boat right here is designed, it's nothing like the Spirit of the Navy. So I think I'm actually going to go somewhat off scale with the front canard. I want an active front canard. Okay, whether it's active, I can have me an on the fly button where I can like give it down or go level or go down in a straight, or maybe we get a gyro for it. Okay, mix it in with a gyro and it only go active when the boat starts to lift. Okay, so we'll kind of cross that bridge later on. Right now we're gonna get started on constructing the canard, get it kind of mounted on the boat, explain to you guys what we're going to do. I know a lot of the old school guys, they would actually mix the forward canard in with the throttle. When you give it full trigger, it will kind of activate, give you some down, you know, so she don't blow off. I was thinking maybe mixing it in with the steering, because hell, when you're in a straight line, no turning, that's when you want some down, you know, a little bit of down when you're in a straight line. When you start your turn, it can level out. And then you come out the turn, you go back to zero steering, and it kind of goes back down active. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to play around with. It's going to be kind of tight. And with the front canard forward up here, it's going to be impossible for me to get the linkage for the servo run and completely hidden. I guess I could actually cut a little inspection plate right here. Then I could back it so I can put the inspection plate back on, put 4 little screws in it, and seal it with saddle tape. That would actually work, so I could actually make the canard steering, well, not steering, the control rod completely hidden. You know, that would actually work. So what I'm going to do, I think we're going to use like a heavy duty music wire. Okay, I'm going to actually run a brass tube in the hull. Like it's basically going to come out like right here. I'll have one hole at a real hard angle coming out right here. You guys see where I got the tube, and it'll come out the hole right here, and then it will connect to a, like, not a servo arm, but a control arm. Okay, with a little micro steering linkage. Okay, you guys see how I'm gonna do it? Okay, and like for this right here, like you can't just like with this run through the forward wing, the forward canard, you can't just like put one side in and then like force the other side into the mounting holes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're going to cut it into 2 pieces. We'll put one here, cut it in half, put another piece on the other side, and then we'll put a spring in between the 2. So it'll basically be housed in a brass tube you have 2 pieces of carbon fiber, spring loaded, okay, and we'll basically have a brass tube right here filled, like it'll be stopped up. So stopped up brass tube here, stopped up brass tube there, and our carbon fiber rod will go and spring load into the hull mounts. Okay, I don't know if I want to run this like really lightweight, which is kind of what I'm leaning toward. Kind of run that. So that's basically how we're going to work that out. The back wing will also be active. It's not going to be servo active. It's going to be like manually adjusted, because a big control, like a big wing on the back of your boat back here, it's actually going to have some effect on the ride of the boat. So will this front canard. So this is going to be a fun boat to run and tune. So now that we know what we're doing, we're going to go ahead and try to figure out how we're going to do it. Okay, I got some balsa, some 1/4 by 3 by 36, 1/4 by 4. Okay, that 1/4 by 4 will be for the vertical stabilizers. This 1/4 by 3 right here, we're going to actually make us a little channel in here for a brass tube, and kind of tinkering here, and found me a small diameter spring. Okay, I'm making the part that's going to go inside my front canard. Okay, so I got this brass tube that will get epoxied in the canard. We're going to drop this spring in the tube that's going in the canard. Okay, I'm going to use a piece of carbon fiber, which I guess I could use a brass tube to go into the hull, but I think I'm going to use carbon fiber. I need to actually, it's kind of tight fitting right now. Yeah, that should be enough spring. You know, put the wing in there, push it in, and then it spring loads back out. That will work. Okay, so we know what we're doing. All right. Now I just got to figure out how big I want this forward canard. I was thinking something like that, so we'll actually get some aero off of it, you know, some downforce when she's angled down. That actually looks about scale on the boat. It might be a little wide. Not exactly sure where I want my pivot point at. If I put it there, that's what it looks like. If I put it more forward, I think I'll need more throw on the servo, which actually might be good. Well, I watched a couple of the U1 Unlimited, videos online where they have the onboard footage, and you can watch them. They use a foot pedal on the 1-to-1 boats, in a straight she's like that, in a corner she's more leveled out. Then, if she starts to pick up, she'll do that number there. They use a foot pedal. If I put it closer to center, it's actually going to give me a lot of down. Like, I think it's going to be better in the more forward. It's not going to be as sensitive, but I guess if I go closer to center, I wouldn't need quite as much movement. I wouldn't need quite as much movement because this leading edge, yeah, if I do it back here, okay, so I think we are going to go forward. All right. So kind of like where it's at now. So I got my groove cut out here. I kind of just took my tube and did it with my tube and a file. You know, went back and forth with a file. And then I set this on there. And I basically like pressed it. Got my imprint. Did the same thing. Just kind of used a file and my tube. Got it sandwiched in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and... I want this tube to be stationary, permanent. So I'm going to go ahead and, I think I'm going to go ahead and epoxy it. I'm just going to lay out some epoxy on here. Alright, so I got my tube sandwiched in there, okay. And I got some modeling clay in it so we don't get any epoxy in the tube, alright. Day I've been doing some work off camera. You guys seen me use this planer. This is a Harbor Freight planer. It comes in a 3-pack. It has this one with a straight up and down scraper iron, and then has the iron coming out forward for getting up into like tight areas. Harbor Freight, pretty cheap, and it actually worked really good for basswood and this balsa. So this is my Canard. All right, it's basically an upside down wing. Like this would be the wing on an airplane. This is what we're going to run. Basically an upside down wing. So it creates a low pressure and then your high pressure's over the top. So it actually pushes down. It's going to naturally want to keep the bow down. Okay. So I went ahead and made this little aluminum. I think this is 6061 aluminum. It's really stiff and stout. And this is going to get mounted. It's going to get mounted flush into the wing. So it's going to get mounted flush with the outside edge, and then it's going to get recessed into the wing. Okay. Alright, so this is my first time pressing this on, and I just wanted to kind of show you what it's looking like here. I still got a ways to go, but I think that's gonna work. You guys see what I did? Okay. Notched it. Drilled a hole through the arm. I hope I made the right decision there. I probably shouldn't have. Probably should have cut this short, but I was really looking for integrity, you know, something for this arm to actually hold and grab onto so it don't like move, so it's strong. I think that'll work once it's carbon fibered on there. I got it pretty much where I want it. Probably go a little bit more, but I'm gonna go ahead and epoxy it in, and then I'll finish it up when it's installed. Went ahead and drilled my holes. I don't know how the hell I got off on that one. I punched it, and I freaking drilled it all the way through and didn't even realize it. Oh, shot out. So I got this right here threaded. This one's threaded in there. Not exactly sure what I'm going to use right now. I may actually go Z-bend. I don't know. That'll work. Well, I'm mixing up some 15-minute Bob Smith. Alright, so actually going to take a little bit of this Bob Smith 15. I don't need that much. I'm going to put a little bit in this guy right here in a separate container. Okay. We'll do that. I'm going to add some 91% alcohol. Thin this out a little bit. Okay. I want this to really, I want that arm to really get epoxy in to this to this wing, you know. So what you do, this is balsa. It's like a sponge. What you do is you thin it out. You guys see that? You see how thin that is? You thin it out and brush it on that soft balsa. Look, watch it soak it up. See what it's doing? Soaking that up. Okay, look, it soaked it all up like a sponge. Okay, so let it kind of soak it in for a second. Now you put the thickened, you know, the regular epoxy in there, and you'll get a better glue up. You feel me? So, shit. Woo! Almost knocked that damn epoxy over. So I'm actually gonna do this real quick. I almost forgot. That's modeling clay. I'm just gonna put some over that hole so I don't get no epoxy in my tube. Okay. Thin epoxy again. Man, it sucks it right up. I'll probably use that thin all over it real quick just to use it all up. Actually, I'll wait. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to use the normal, the regular Bob Smith. All right, boom. Okay, I'm going to hit it with some 80 grit. One more time. Okay. Actually, let's put some epoxy on here. Okay. All right. Make sure it's pushed all the way up. That'll do it. So this is the servo we're going to use. It's lightweight. It's actually really quick. 17 grams should be plenty for this front canard. In the next video, we're going to work on getting the holes drilled, figure out where we're going to place it at, and finalize the canard. As you can see, I got one layer of carbon fiber laid up. All right, still got to do the other side. I need to cut it and then, you know, lay that out. But it's shaping up. I'm actually having fun with this. It's a fun project. It really is. All right. Redneck engineering. Okay. So I got my rear wing cut out. Okay, it's actually a little taller than what I needed. I'm gonna cut it down. I can't decide on the heights right now, so I just cut it long. But I wanted to be able to get started on this because I actually have a lot of work to do here. So I cut 4 1/4-inch thick pieces out. So this is a 1/2 inch thick. This is balsa. It's real soft, so we'll be able to work it down. I want to get a nice shape on it. Okay, and I actually, the main reason I went too thick is so I can do some work on the inside before I actually put them together. Okay, some reinforcement, if you will. Okay, so some more drawing here if you guys are interested. It's going to be a blind mount on the wing. I'll go over all this in the next video. So this is the hull right here. This is carbon fiber. This will be mounted in the hull. I'll have like 2, maybe 3 tabs mounting this carbon fiber piece. Like I said, it'll be a blind mount, so you won't see any type of like angle metal, you know, holding on to the wing. This is going to slide up into the center of the hollow wing right here, and we'll have a couple pieces of basswood, or I got some thin carbon fiber that may actually work better. That's going to be notched out in here. You know, we'll have a piece of basswood or carbon fiber here, and then we'll have a hole in the middle for mounting. Okay, you'll either get a brass breakaway screw mounting it, or a nylon breakaway screw mounting it. So if we crash it, which I know we will, the wing will kind of just break off, and we may not lose all of it, maybe just lose a portion of it. Still thinking about this, not sure if I want to go with a brass tube kind of like we did up forward for our pivot, or just kind of put a like a threaded insert right here and just screw into that threaded insert. So I'm still thinking about that. We're definitely going to make it adjustable, so we'll have us a little control arm like we have on the front Canard. Hey boys, it's the next day, and I carbon fibered my wing. I actually used a very lightly thickened epoxy, very like soupy, and I put 1 extra coat of epoxy on here, lightly thickened, so it'll fill in any low spots, so I can basically just sand the epoxy off, and we shouldn't have to do much filling, you know, shouldn't have to do much filling at all. It turns out really good. I do need to cut the end, like this end right here. I need to cut it a little bit shorter, and actually a lot shorter, so I can actually make the ends carbon fiber, which maybe I probably don't even need to. Yeah, I probably don't need to. It does need to be sealed, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this all shaped up. Alright, so done a lot of sanding. I just got back in from the shop, and it's actually shaping up pretty nice. I got some low spots that I need to fill, you know, figured I would, but the shape, so this is the bottom. The shape looks pretty good. Kind of want a little bit more angle on this front edge right here. So I think whenever I fill these holes, I think I'm just going to go over it with some thickened epoxy and then reshape it again, you know. Basically an upside down wing, you know. I don't know, I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? What do you think? I think the shape looks pretty on point, you know. The width is what we're going to work on next, you know. I think I'm going to take down, I think I actually need to take about 3 or 4 more millimeters off, so I can actually put a shim on both sides in between the hull and the wing, a little shim, so it don't so the wing, when it's moving up and down, so it don't scratch up my boat, you know. So I'll need to shim it, so I need to actually shorten it a little bit, you know what I'm saying. So I didn't think about that during the design phase. So yeah, it'd probably be, you know, a little shorter. So let me get you a measurement here. Okay, 40.5. Let me check this side, make sure. Oh, so it's 1 millimeter thinner on this side than this side, so I need to work on that. It's 7.9 millimeters thick. Okay, so the thickness is on point. Okay, and the length is 165 millimeters at the moment. That will change in a minute. Appreciate you guys watching this long ass video. It's just me working on my boat, you know, working out little issues as they arrived, designing and modifying parts, you know. So it's a lot of work, you know, and things may change here and there. It's just the way it goes, you know. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see how it finishes up, you know.